Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is once again retesting this critical area of support, which means the price is getting closer towards a possible long squeeze, which would be bad news in the short term for the price of Bitcoin. So in just a moment, I'll be talking about that alongside Ethereum now running into this critical line of support, while the price of Solana is running into critical resistance, while both XRP and Chainlink are still holding above these important levels of support. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is technically still within a larger bull market. If we're looking at the lows and the highs, for example, we are forming higher lows and higher highs on the weekly time frame, so not much has changed in that regard. But if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously right now, as of recording this video, we're still seeing a possible bearish crossover flash as a signal on this indicator right here, which is the weekly Bitcoin MACD. But as of right now, this still needs to be confirmed with at least a weekly candle close. And in case you're wondering, the next weekly candle close confirms in just a few hours from now at exactly midnight UTC. And so potentially in a few hours from now, we could end up confirming this initial bearish crossover in the weekly Bitcoin MACD, which obviously would be a bearish signal for the price of Bitcoin. The last time this happened was around the end of April 2024. And what came next was more of a bearish trend for roughly around half a year in the price of Bitcoin. But as of right now, at the time of recording this video, this is only a possible very slight bearish crossover, as we can see right here, even though it's possibly crossing in the bearish direction. Of course, once again, we still need to wait for confirmation, and we're not really seeing a lot of bearish momentum as of right now. In fact, at least for now, we're simply lacking momentum in the shorter term. And if we're taking a look at this 4-day Bitcoin chart, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we still have a potential bearish divergence on the weekly time frame, with higher highs confirmed in the price and lower highs confirmed in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. So obviously this massive bearish divergence is a giant warning signal to pay attention to on these larger time frames. But in case you're new to this channel, if you're new to all of this, just because we saw a bearish divergence back here, which we ultimately saw a major bear market for around 1 year following that bearish divergence, just because that happened last time, of course, it does not guarantee we're going to see a bear market from right now that will last exactly 1 year like what we saw in 2022. This does not mean that, but what it does mean is that we are indeed losing a lot of bullish momentum within this bull market. So we're basically slowing down in the bull market. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is running into this important area of support again, sitting in between around 95,000 to 96,000. And at least at the time of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is continuing to find support in that area, currently seeing slight little bounces from that area. And so at least for now, this is some good news in the short term for the price of Bitcoin, simply the fact that we're holding above this area of support. But if we were to see a confirmed break below around 95,000 with candle closes below that level, in that case, the next important level of support or area of support to the downside is sitting in between around 92,000 to 93,000. And in the meantime, obviously the price of Bitcoin is lacking momentum to really either direction in the shorter term. We do not have a lot of bullish momentum or a lot of bearish momentum, at least for now. And so this could potentially be the calm before the storm, which means you have to get set up ready to go to take the next trading opportunity that will potentially come sometime soon. And if you want to get set up ready to go to take one of these trades in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, you have to be set up on a crypto exchange. And personally, I take a lot of my trades over on Bitfinex, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever, but that is only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bitfinex account and start trading on that account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And also, in case you're wondering, Bitfinex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And And for whatever reason, if you don't want Bitfinex as an exchange, there is also Bybit as another option out there, another exchange that I also trade on. So I will also make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and as of right now, we actually are starting to see a lot of liquidity building below the price of Bitcoin at approximately $95,000. So in other words, if the price of Bitcoin breaks below around 95,000, that will liquidate a bunch of long positions, possibly causing a small long squeeze. In other words, it would be bad news for the price of Bitcoin, at least in the short term, causing more sell pressure if we actually first break below around 95,000, obviously breaking below this area of support. And so as I mentioned just earlier, and also in my last video here on the channel, if we simply break below around 95,000 with confirmation, expect potentially a quick move down towards around 92 to 93,000, and then around there I do expect a lot of support if we were to first break below 95,000. But remember, for now, we are still finding support in the meantime in between 95 to 96,000. And as for the liquidity to the upside, we do have a small amount of liquidity building at roughly around 101,000, but most of the liquidity to the upside is sitting at around 103,000 and 107,000, which are obviously just on the top side of these areas of resistance, which, by the way, in case you're new to this channel, this area of resistance is sitting in between 101,000 to 103,000, and this significant area of resistance is sitting in between around 106,000 to 107,000. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin and crypto funding rates, the Bitcoin funding rates across pretty much all of these exchanges are very neutral right now, but the altcoin funding rates, in particular the Solana funding rates, are very much negative. Pretty much all of the funding rates for Solana across all of these major exchanges are below 0%. And so what this tells us is that there's a high demand right now to short Solana, to the point where traders are willing to pay a premium just to short Solana and any of these other cryptos with negative funding rates. And so basically the short positions are having to pay the long positions extra fees when the funding rates are negative. So keep that in mind. Basically everyone is trying to short Solana right now in particular, and not many people interested in buying Solana. So just keep that in mind. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, right now the price of ETH is still running into this major line of support, which has been significant support for the price for multiple years now, since around the middle of 2022. And in case you're wondering, this line of support is currently sitting at just above 2.6k. So really at around 2.6k, that's the level to hold above in terms of the weekly candle closes. And as I said earlier, for Bitcoin near the beginning of the video, the next weekly candle close confirms in just a few hours from now. So ideally, in a few hours from now, we need to remain above around 2.6k approximately. But if we start seeing weekly candle closes below this ascending line of support, that would be the first significant change in price structure that we've seen in multiple years for the price of ETH against the US dollar. And another change in price structure would be if we confirm lower lows. So if we break below these lows back here at around 2.1k, if we're looking at the actual lows, or at the weekly candle closes at around 2.3k, if we break below those previous lows, that would be another significant warning signal or bearish signal for Ethereum for the longer term. But obviously, as of right now, that has not currently happened. We're still holding above this support, at least at the time of recording this video. And if we're taking a look at this daily time frame, obviously recently we broke below this area, which was acting as a bit of support, but is now acting as resistance, as I mentioned in my last video. And that's sitting in between around 2.7k to 2.8k, once again acting as resistance. And as for other support and resistance levels, if we see a further breakout above around 2.8k, in that case, we have a lot of resistance in this area, sitting in between 3,000 to 3.1k. And as for support, if we break below that 2.6k level, in that case, we have this area of support to watch out for in between around 2220 to 2360. So roughly around 2.3k as significant support. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, obviously over the last couple of days, Solana exactly played out this bullish divergence as expected, because obviously if you've been watching my videos over the last couple of days, I've been sharing how this bullish divergence just recently confirmed on the 8-hour Solana chart, with lower lows confirmed in the price in the candle closes and higher lows confirmed in the 8-hour Solana RSI. So like I've been saying over the last couple of days, expect either a slight bullish relief or just some choppy sideways price action as the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. So in other words, a bit of a break or a relief from all of this bearish price action. But as I've also been saying over the last few days, we also have this area of resistance to watch out for where the price will likely struggle in, and that's sitting in between around $199 to $205, and that's exactly where the price is struggling, exactly as expected. And so for now, just in the short term, that is preventing the price from heading any higher. So continue to expect the price to struggle in that area. But if we can finally see a candle close confirming above around $205, in that case, we can finally see more of a bullish relief up towards close to $220, and then roughly around $220. That's likely where we'll start finding the next resistance if we first confirm a breakout above $205. But for now, the price of Solana is simply lacking momentum to either direction. Obviously, over the last couple of days, we have seen a slight bullish relief as a result of this bullish divergence, but not really a significant amount of bullish momentum. And also, while the bullish divergence is playing out, we're not really seeing any bearish momentum, because that's what a bullish divergence means. It means basically no more bearish momentum, at least for maybe a number of days if we're talking about the 8-hour time frame. And as for support to watch out for, if we actually see a decent rejection here, I would expect supports at roughly around 190, and this area of support coming into play in between 178 to 183. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the daily time frame, XRP is currently within a bit of a sideways price range, chopping around sideways between this area of support and this area of resistance. So first of all, this area of support is sitting in between around $2.25 to $2.30, and this area of resistance is sitting in between around $2.58 to $2.73. So for now, the price of XRP in the imminent short term, as in over the next 1 or 2 days, is looking relatively neutral, lacking momentum to either direction just in the shorter term. But of course, the larger price structure here on the daily time frame is indeed bearish. We're playing out a larger bearish divergence on this daily time frame, which is also visible on even larger time frames like the 3-day chart, for example. But if we're taking a look at the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour XRP chart, obviously over the last couple of days, we have been playing out a short-term bullish divergence, the opposite of a bearish divergence, which is one of the reasons as to why we have seen a very slight bullish relief, just basically a bit of a break from all of the bearish price action over the last couple of days. And so as I've already been saying for days now on the channel, we're likely going to see a bit more of a break from all of the bearish price action, but not necessarily the end of the bearish price action forever. We might just see maybe once again a little bit more of a break or a relief before ultimately the continuation of more of a bearish trend on the daily time frame, at least while this bearish divergence is still currently actively playing out on the daily time frame. It's just we're taking a bit of a pause in the shorter term. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, Chainlink is running into this important 50% retracement level, sitting at around $17.70, but really in between around $17.70 to $18. That is the area of support to pay attention to in the shorter term. Previously, we have seen multiple bounces from that area, but if we were to see a confirmed break below that area in between $17.70 to $18, in that case, if we see, for example, a daily candle close below that area, in that case, we have the golden pocket area of support sitting in between around $14.90 to $15.50. So close to $15. That will likely be coming next if we first confirm a break well below $18. And of course, the larger price structure here on the daily time frame is indeed bearish. We are forming lower highs and lower lows, breaking below support levels and not really breaking out above any key points of resistance in the shorter term, which is all bearish bearish price structure. And speaking of resistance, I would expect resistance in between around $19 to $20 approximately, based on previous support becoming new resistance. But once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto so that you can profit no matter what the price is doing, even if the price is bearish, you can profit by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.